Mr. Cash, who seeded humanity?
The earth itself. The condition of it, that few degree angle in what we call axis of the earth, creating the 4 seasons, created a combination of fields, interaction, production, and these fields somehow, through the balanced common denominator, interact with each other. Once the condition was created, the water, the oxygen, the hydrogen, and the rest of it, then what came in it is a different story. Life of a planet, life of a structure has sequences. And scientists have not understood this sequence. You cannot produce gases if you don't get the plates, if you don't get a box, if you don't get the water, if you don't get the salt. You can't have gases if you buy the plates, buy the salt, and get the water, but you have no container. You can't have gases if you have the container, you have the water, but you have no salt. So life is the same. It has to be, and it comes in sequences. When one is done, then condition of the position creates the next one. Doesn't matter where you are in the universe. The rays of the sun led to the creation of amalgamation of some of its own back to itself, absorption of whatever to itself, that led to creation of the earth as a matter, pieces of plasmas. Interaction of the fields created the gravity. Interaction of the gravity and magnetic fields receiving and giving created dimension of the planet. In dimension of the planet, now you have a field which is a loose bullet in the fields of the what we call solar system. You got, as I call, a knife on the edge of a fast rotating spin stone. It creates sparks. Those sparks are different, they're not all the same. Big one, long one, short one, oxygen, hydrogen, whatever. Now you have a container, now you brought the water in, you brought the next condition. And in that process of the knife running against the rotating wheel, you created other things called the zinc and copper and the rest, and the salt and whatever. And then in interaction with each other within the oceans, the right temperature and condition, you cannot produce gases sometimes in a minus 50 degrees, even though they're produced. You have to have the right condition, then you create the right gas. And if you can amalgamate those gases, as you've seen, you create rotation. Then you create some of your life. This is exactly what happened on Earth. But when you have the earth, you created the salt, you created the water, you created even the sand and the soil. And if there is a matching structure across the universe which can fit to this, can survive in this, it can replicate itself with it. Go back to the teaching of years ago when I spoke about the shoe crab. Origin of the life of the physicality of the man is condition of the man. The origin of this earth. What happened with the soul of the man in interaction with another physical dimension which was matching the condition of the earth? If the knowledge is transformed and transmuted to the soul of the man or the physicality of the man, that's another condition. The race of the man we see today is not the only one. Initially, when the earth was created and the condition came right, there were thousands of men similar things. The one which was a stronger started dominating. And now what we see is men up today. Even if domination was spreading, he split himself into different color and races. So, what's the origin of the man? The origin of the man, the earth is from interaction of its own fields. But once you create a condition, the others which come in it, they can live within it. That's why a third of the population of this planet is from outside, not from here, because they can live in this condition. But they're not from Earth. As I always said, we have a beautiful Farsi word. It says, whoever has a mustache is not your uncle. Because all the Iranians have mustache. Then you have a lot of uncles. God help your grandpa and your father. So we have to understand that life is not exclusivity, but life is created out of the condition of exclusivity of the interaction of the fields of this planet. So where did the man come from? From Earth. And where did the man will go? Again, from Earth, because he's got the fingerprint of the soul of the Earth. You up to now, you looked at, if you moved to China, you look Chinese. If you went to South America, you look South American. If you went to the North Pole, you became something else. But you got to understand, the soul, common denominator soul of all of them are the same. But the creation is subject to the soul of the planet. So we all have a fingerprint of the soul of this planet within our soul. We have a fingerprint of the solar system within our soul. We have a fingerprint of our galaxy within our soul. And we have even the fingerprint of this universe in our soul. When we go to the other universes, when they look at us, oh, this is from that universe, in that galaxy there and there. That's the fields you produce. You see the separation. If you leave Earth at the point of death, you carry that fingerprint with you. If your position as a new soul, as a new star, is in another galaxy or another universe, you carry all the fingerprints of where you came through the field interactions. Now, you were doing the tracing of where the man came. If you go to United Nations website or the other side, that they trace your ancestors, where you came. And if you'd done it, he came from Europe, he came to Asia, you were a black man somewhere else. It's the same way now in the dimension of the soul. Through the strength and color and the interaction of the fields, you attract back to Earth. From which galaxy, from which universe, from the rest. It's just because we didn't have the knowledge, we were not aware of it. Now we're aware of it, we understand. So, life of the man from Earth, started from Earth. Man from other part of the universe, being a man, we accept them as a man. But in their souls, in the dimension of physicality, we can soon know where they are from. A lot of travelers of the universe are in a black skin. It must be a surprise and a shock, but in time you will see. Because when they came to the original source of creation of life on this planet, and not on this mutation. Go back to some of the teachings of the past 3, 4, 5 years ago. I explained this when I was sitting in a cafe in Ghana, when I saw them and they tried to hide behind the lift. We see the original races, not the mutation of races. Then you understand. Life originated on this planet according to the environment of this planet.